I tell you guys, all this hocus pocus Ukraine stuff, man. I mean, if they really wanted to prevent a war, should have taken Putin seriously. I mean, who really believed Zelensky when he thought, "Oh, Putin's not gonna invade Ukraine. He's not gonna invade Ukraine." You know, we all knew Putin was gonna invade Ukraine because he said he wants to create the Soviet Union again because he said back in 2005 that the collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest political catastrophe of the century. So we all knew Putin wanted to invade Ukraine, but was it really merely to reestablish the Soviet Union? Well, maybe not. There was this TikTok video from a friend of mine that he sent. Uh, they say that the real reason Putin wants to invade Ukraine is so he can extract their natural resources. For Putin and Xi Jinping to create a one world currency. A one world currency not backed by the full faith and credit of the government, but is backed by natural resources with real tangible uses. Natural resources in Ukraine, such as coal, iron ore, natural gas, timber, mercury, manganese, salt, oil, graphite, sulfur, titanium, a whole wide various uses, very tangible natural resources. Gold is not very tangible. Let me say that. They want to invest in a natural resource. It should always, in best cases, it should be something that has a very tangible use. They could try to create a one world currency backed by minerals with very useful uses in the global economy. But if this war is going to be run by the best interests of the West, how come we prevent Putin and Xi from creating a world currency? Why don't we try to quash a possible one world currency with China? What will happen if they create a one world currency and the United States currency collapses and China sends all this stuff to America that they make overseas for American corporations? I suppose China is playing both sides. China is playing both the Russia side and the America side. No matter what, China will emerge victorious. They've suffered a hit to their currency, China, but it is a long game played. It's a long game played for even America's currency to reach the null point of return. It could be decades, it could be centuries. We don't know yet, but the collapse is on its way. It's a long game. Empire averages 200, 250, whatever years. It's 240 years right now, and we've already experienced decline. It's just a matter of when the decline happens. But is America calling the shots? No, they're not. They want to prevent the global reserve currency backed by the useful, tangible resources of Ukraine? No. Who is running the war? Rothschild. Who's running the war? Central banks. Who's running the war? Rothschild says you want to send all this aid to Ukraine. Rothschild says I'm going to make interest off of the money you borrow from the Federal Reserve, from the Bank of England, from the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. This is supposed to be a prolonged conflict. No matter what, international bankers win, no matter which country wins, if they have a global reserve currency or not. But are the West's best interests represented in this conflict right now? No. You got to go into the conflict as much as you can. Zelensky is a CIA central bankster-backed puppet put in there to allow the conflict to escalate as long as possible. Can NATO come in and wipe off Russia? Yeah. Would we be threatened with nukes? I suppose probably. If Russia's machinery is collapsing, are they capable of pouring a nuke on America? No, because I think we have enough nukes to nuke anyone we want to across the world. It's like Zelensky is a game show host. He's playing a show in Ukraine. He's a history teacher. He becomes president. He's a history teacher in real life and becomes president. I mean, that little TV show where he becomes president, they told you the script that he become president. This Zelensky guy, why hasn't he been taken out yet? Why is he not being bombed to death? Why is he holding interviews with the West every single day? Why aren't you asking these tough questions? What's going on, Mr. Zelensky guy? Why is he firing his prosecutors, his cabinet officials, labeling them traitors? It's power hungry. It's power hungry. He's abusing his power right now during the war. Too bad for the people of Ukraine that geopolitics is taking course in their country. Russia doesn't believe in freedom of speech. They're the aggressors. They're bad guys. Not all people in Ukraine are neo-Nazis. Sure, there are some neo-Nazis in Ukraine. There are neo-Nazis in Russia, too. But to say that all people of Ukraine are neo-Nazis is absolutely ludicrous. Was Zelensky representing the people of Ukraine's best interests? And he was like, no, Russia's not going to invade Ukraine. No, Zelensky wasn't getting the people of Ukraine armed, ready to wipe them off for good with the help from NATO and the West. What kind of leadership is Zelensky? Dude is a puppet. We could have sent the weapons months ahead of time. If we knew the intelligence, we knew everything was happening, we could have prepared in December, January, but no, they weren't going to do that. They wanted a war. They wanted central bankster, interest payments. I find it very believable if Putin is some just bastard. He wants to create a one-world currency dominated by real tangible sources of value instead of the full faith and credit of the government. Gold doesn't have any tangible uses for anything. It's just nice, shiny, golden stuff, but it's not tangible, is it? Silver is tangible. Sulfur, gold, that's very tangible stuff. That is. Hopefully, there's not a one-world currency where Putin-Xi behind closed doors are suffocating America. Hopefully, that's not happening, but the people running the war are not helping the West win, that's for sure. For me, it's the bankers calling the shots. You just got to think about it, man. You just got to wake up from the trance that we're in, with the media and all that. Hopefully people of Ukraine are all right, but they've been taken over by banksters. They've been taken over by banksters. The people that are supposed to help Ukraine are not helping out Ukraine. They're giving them money for weapons so it can make central banksters money, so it can make war contractors money. They don't want to send the full force of NATO to end the war in our nuclear intercepting systems, our nuclear defensive mechanisms that can easily intercept off Russian nukes. Don't want to work in the best interests of what should be without the influence of the cabal behind the closed doors. How long they want Ukraine to go for, I don't know. Should have been over a long time ago? Yeah, it should have been over a long time ago. Should World War I end in the stalemate? Yeah, everyone was being shot in no man's land. It should have ended in a draw. But no, Zionist banksters sent the money to America. They devastated Germany. They put Hitler in power. I tell you, Rothschild, they say, is not influential anymore in the 21st century. Rothschild made all this possible in World War II, and Rothschild made all this possible during the 17th and the 18th centuries. And in America, the foreign banks were the predominant owners of the first national bank in America. So we are under control of the Rothschilds. The war is under control of the Rothschilds and the puppets that the CIA put in control over there. It's no win. We should wipe out Russia and prevent Xi and Putin from uh, having the one world currency to stop the dollar here in America as the world reserve currency. But the fact is that's not happening. So I know who's pulling the strings because of that. Putin's a bad guy. He should be stopped. Russia, they should have democracy over there. But these guys are the puppeteers, man. They're under control of the real leaders, ain't they? Ukraine is really, there's corruption in Ukraine. There is. There is. All the stuff in between leading up to the war. I admittedly have to do more research to see what kind of inner conflicts in the Donbas region allowed us to have this possible in the first place. Is it conspiracy theory or is it real life? Or it's just a TikTok video where Xi and Putin are extracting minerals from the Ukraine. Russia are gaining territory in the east. They are, but they're just not taking it out very quick. They got to go hire foreign mercenaries. So there's a little slow action there for Russia. It's not going fully to plan. But at the same time, they are making territory. Putin will just keep on hiring more mercenaries from Syria and around the world before they do win. It don't matter how many Russian people die from this. They will try to carry out with their plan. Hopefully they don't carry forward with a global currency that can wipe out America. It's coming from someone from the West in America. But our leaders are bought and paid for by the Rothschild banking cable, cabal, cartel. Hopefully someone will see what they're doing to save the West from collapse.